Hello, Internet. This is MTGO. I am back with more Lantern. Today we're going to be running Whir of Invention. We're also going to be running Assassin's Trophy and Ancient Stirrings. We're going to be doing this all in the same deck. And we're going to try and do it as fast as possible. This is going to be a more rainbow-oriented turbo Whir list. A week before I did this MTGO League, I had seen a conversation in the Lantern community Discord that was asking how fast you really expect to be casting Whir of Invention, which is a good question. If you look at this deck list, how fast do you really expect to cast Whir of Invention? Should we expect Whir to come out on turn 3, turn 4, turn 5? And the short answer is that Whir of Invention, generally speaking, I'm expecting to cast on either turn 4 or turn 5. The big constriction is the fact that it costs triple blue. And I'm still trying to run utility lands that don't tap for blue, at least not easily. So we're running things like a copy of the Mycosynth Gardens. We're going to be running a full playset of Urza's Saga. We also run Basic Swamp. None of those are able to contribute blue mana to the Whir of Invention. And we do still have one talisman to try and hedge for a little bit of extra blue mana, but Whir of Invention is going to be a mid to late game tool that you don't get to cast early on in the game. One of the problems that I had with Whir is that you can't dump it out of your hand quickly. So if you draw an Ensnaring Bridge fast and you have a Whir of Invention in your hand, these two don't go well together. And if you're playing against a very aggressive deck like Boros Energy, you're going to get yourself tripped up because you're stuck trying to dump the Whir out of your hand in any way possible, no matter the cost. And then you still have to Ensnaring Bridge afterwards. And then you still have to deal with Goblin Bombardments, or Flages, or Ajanis, or just things that don't get stopped by Bridge. And your opponent will have put you down to like 5 or less life at that point, more than likely. It's still very dangerous. So your deck is working against you there. And so that got me thinking, right? If you're trying to cast Whir on turn 4 or 5, or later, why not try and build a deck list with Whir that goes a lot faster? Let's try and maximize the amount of blue lands that we run, minimize the amount of non-blue lands. So that means in this case, we're trimming an Urza's Saga. It's controversial, I know, but we're going to test it. And try and see if there's a way that we can ever Whir on turn 3. And more importantly, we're going to try and build a deck list that can try to Ensnaring Bridge on turn 3 off of a Whir of Invention. That second part is still not crazy consistent, and I still wanted to run individually powerful spells like Ancient Stirrings and Assassin's Trophy to have some interaction or some top deck ability in the mid to late game. But this deck list is trying to utilize Whir more actively than the blue-black Whir list. That being said, we're also running 4 copies of Glimmervoid and 4 copies of Spire of Industry. There is no more Fetch Shock package. Hopefully this means that we take slightly less life, but it also means that we get to run green spells. We get to run 3 or 4 color deck lists here and have some more sideboard slot flexibility. One other issue that I've been having with both Golgari and Whir Lantern is that the top deck war feels really awkward. And when you're playing against a lot of fast decks with redundant threats, like Boros and Mardu Energy, where just because you have a bridge doesn't mean that your opponent loses, and they're still like pressuring you really hard, I want to be able to have some extra cards that dig through the deck a little bit more consistently. So like these 2 Ancient Stirrings, that helps a lot. These 2 trophies to blow up or provide some insurance so that you can blow up in a Johnny, something like that, that's important. In the sideboard as well, there's one other notable card that I'll mention in Pyroclasm. You can tell that Boros Energy is really impacting my deck building choices. There's been a lot of board wipes going into Lantern players' sideboards recently, namely Toxic Deluge, Bontu's Last Reckoning, Path of Peril. Those are the 3 big ones that people have been testing. But the big downside to all of those is that those are all 3 drops. Pyroclasm is a 2-drop that still does 2 damage, which is really powerful. Boros Energy, pretty much everything in their deck list is 2 or less toughness. There are some times when Guide of Souls can pump up something and it won't get swept away to the Pyroclasm, but that means that it gets blocked by Ensnaring Bridge more easily as well. So hopefully that should wash out and that there's not too many issues But Pyroclasm should be enough to slow down those decks enough where I think it's a worthy inclusion, or at least deserves some testing. Problem is that it's red, so most decks don't have the option to even consider Pyroclasm, because why would you run red in Lantern? There's nothing there for you. Running 4 Glimmer Voids and 4 Spires lets us potentially run the Pyroclasm. And that's basically the idea behind the deck. Pretty much everything else in the sideboard that you see, you've seen me run these in different deck variants. I only kind of figured out the sideboard in a few hours. This could be tuned a little bit better, but we're kind of in exploration mode this week. We're just going to see how the deck works and if there's any ideas here worth pursuing. So the big things that I'm expecting to need to test a bit more is 3 Urza Saga enough? Am I still going to be relying on Urza Saga very heavily during these games? And how well does Pyroclasm do? Sorry, third thing as well. Do we get to Whir of Invention consistently? Is it still awkward? Is it worth pumping 2 Talisman of Dominances and running a non-fetch oriented mana base to try and cast these Whirs as aggressively as possible? We'll see. Before we get into match 1, a couple plugs. First off, if you like the deck you see here, there's going to be a Moxfield link in the description below. Check out the deck list, download it, do what you want with it, modify it, play it in your own leagues. Let me know how you do. My Moxfield account will also be linked if you want to see some of the other Lantern stuff that I'm doing. The Lantern Community Discord, if you have any questions, will be linked in the description as well. And finally, if you need any other content, if you run out of stuff that I have, or if you just want to go and experience somebody else's stuff, I have a compilation of things in my YouTube profile. There's a few other channels that run Lantern content, and there's another dedicated section for non-MTG specific folks that you could take a look at too if you just are a gamer and need somebody else to watch on YouTube streams. One of the Lantern people that I've been working with in close association is the Fate Seal MPG channel. He's trying to group up people in the Lantern community and come up with reviews, videos. He's trying to get other people in on like collaborations and stuff. So you should see more things on his channel that involve me and other people working on the deck at the same time. So check it out. On to match 1. Okay, match 1. All right, we're on the play. This hand... Alright, the Glimmer Void's dead until we find an artifact, but we have 2 discard spells to carry us, and then I do have Ensnaring Bridge on turn 3, so... I think this is okay. It's a weird hand. This is not the type of hand I was expecting to run when I picked up the deck. Oh, he forgot to use the white Borderlands again. That's gonna come and bite us. It's a bad omen. Did I miss them revealing Giganta? No, they just didn't reveal it. Okay. So they're on red-white. There's a chance that they're on Mardu. I think I'm taking both of the Ajanis. That seems to be my path forward right now. There is a chance for me to Whir of Invention for 1 on turn 4 with this current hand, and I can Pithing Needle the backside of Ajani. If they're on Mardu, then that means I need to answer Goblin Bombardment, though. I think because I already have the bridge, I don't care about Guide of Souls, so I'm just going to take Ajanis to be safe. Okay, Arid Mesa, Sacred Foundry. Alright, that all checked out. Turn 2 trophy is good. Or sorry, drawing Assassin's Trophy is good. Okay, they're on these 4 cards. They only have... Oh, whoops. They have an extra land in there. Oops, I almost passed without playing a land. That would have been awkward. They might expect me to be a control list of some sort, so I should probably hold up this mana. I don't think it really changes their play pattern. But... Okay, Urza's Saga's nice, so I'm going to run out the Saga this turn and then play Bridge. Okay, they're on Mardu. Confirmed. They binned one of their basics. That's good to know. So if they draw their second basic, then Trophy might just be a Vindicate. Okay, they run out their Ether Hub. So I know they have 1 more land that I accidentally clicked out of. Oh, Gravecrawler. They're a Soul Trader deck. Okay. I do hope they pay energy to pump up one of these guides. Awesome, they do. Cool. Next turn, if I need to, I can dump my hands to bridge with 1 card left. Actually, the way that the mana taps here doesn't really work out, I don't think, for that. What am I doing this turn? I could Thought Seize them I know they have one more land in hand. I assume that it's 2 lands, though, if they played the Gravecrawler and didn't do anything else. You know, I think I'm just gonna Whir of Invention. I think I Whir for 1. I can even hold up this Urza Saga, so I can do that at instant speed. So I'll Whir for 1, I'll look for like a Lantern, and then I can Shredder afterwards. Second Ether Hub, okay. Okay, they didn't go in with the other Guide of Souls, but they did go in the Gravecrawler. Or with the Gravecrawler. I think that's fine. I think I just take my beats and go to 8. Blue, blue, blue. We'll just tap for 2. And I think we grab... I guess it doesn't really matter. Ooh, they have Soul Trader on top. Oh, there's a Pithing Needle. Oh, I'm not going to get that Pithing Needle. So this turn I'm going to take another... or next turn I'm going to take another 3. I don't think I'm going to hand dump properly still. So maybe I just make the Construct here. I'll grab a Shredder. I could Stirrings for a land. Let's mill them right now. They have an Ajani on top. I can blow that up next turn. Maybe what I do here is, if they have a Galvanic Discharge in their hand, then Ajani is really dangerous to let them have. That will just kill me. But I do want another land drop, so maybe I just Stirrings and Thoughtseize. That's gonna hurt a lot, but that might be the right idea. Well, Glimmervoid's gonna hurt less. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it, Johnny. I'm just gonna cross my fingers. Yeah, okay, they have lands. So next turn, they can't swing out anymore. They're gonna get a Johnny. I'm gonna trophy it, and then I even have a Pixis on top to lock him out. I'm liking where I'm at. They can actually swing with the Guide of Souls this one turn. Oh, they deal 5 to me, actually. It's really not good. So I can swing with 1 Guide of Souls. They can pump it up twice, because they have 6 energy. Okay, so that's actually closer than I realized. Cutting it close. Okay, first things first, I'm going to make a mill at Fable. There's another Ajani on top. I'm going to let them play out their Ajani. I'm going to let them Legend Rule it. And then this will flip. And then with that trigger on the stack, I can trophy it. Yep, Ajani. I don't really care how these stack out. I'm just going to do this while everything's on the stack. Okay. I'll let the stack clear. My hand is empty. So now we're just trying to get their library empty, and then we're good to go. They don't have a ton of hits in the deck left that I really care about, so I'm not gonna worry. Oh yeah, third mill rock right here. We're good. We win. I will mill their Ocelot Pride. I'm just not a big fan of them. I guess I didn't need to mill that. That didn't matter. Oops. I am wondering about this Amped Raptor. What can that turn into? That could turn into a bombardment. I'm going to let him fetch, potentially. They're not going to fetch. Okay. Well, I still got 3 spins with the Lantern, or with the Mill Rocks. So, there we go. They're going to fetch. Do I care about that? I don't think I care about that anymore. That doesn't make me lose life, does it? Sack another... Pay a life, sack a creature, make a treasure. They have no way to drain me. They can have it. Just pass the turn. Opponent finds another Amped Raptor. They cannot have that. Bowmasters will just kill me. That has to go as well. Bloodstained Mire's chill. I'm gonna Pixis. I want to get rid of that Apprentice. Another Soul Trader's fine. Although I am gonna have to mill myself on upkeep. I'm gonna draw with the Bauble as well. I have so much library manipulation at this point that I can make sure that I don't double up on lands and get stuck with a card in hand. Okay, we're good. The Soul Trader is the card that's out right now, so I'm just going to needle that so that none of them matter ever again. And I even have a Whir for Cookbook. They fetch away their Soul Trader, find another Guide of Souls. I want to draw my Whir. So I'm just going to Draw that. Find the cookbook. We'll pass to their upkeep. Upkeep, we will exile cards together. Okay, they have a Nightmare on the top of their library. That, I think, has to go because that can get back in a Johnny. Okay, I'm just going to sack the food now to avoid any shenanigans. This Marionette Apprentice can't really do anything on the current board state. So they could probably have it. I'm just going to play it safe, though. No Amped Raptor either. At this point, I think Ocelot Pride's okay. It's going to cause an awful lot of triggers on end step, which is going to be annoying, but that's okay. I'll just do this now. So I can pass through the rest of the turn. Ooh, Candy Trail. That gains us extra life. Doesn't really matter what's in my library anymore. Cool, we're at 10. So if they draw any Flages, we're still okay. There's the Goblin Bombardment. Slam a bridge and pass. At this point, my opponent is just basically auto-passing through their turns, so I think they're just trying to eat my clock. And if they're trying to eat my clock, then I just go fast. Cool. All right. Game 2. Pyroclasm is coming in, I think. They are a Soul Trader deck, so things like Sultai Lantern and Curse Totem get better. Although, I think the only activated ability that they have is Reflection of Kiki-Jiki and the Soul Trader itself. So, actually, Curse Totem, I think, chills out right here. Soulless Jailer is probably not worth it. I didn't see any Flages that game. They might board them in. I think the Brutalities come in. They're 3 colors, so they're probably not going to Blood Moon. The Grafdigger's Cage is relevant for their combo. The Cookbook is important for their aggressive half of the deck. Am I just cutting Baubles? Maybe I think I cut 2 Whirs because they go really fast. Maybe I cut the Stirrings because I'm bringing in a bunch of colored spells, so Stirrings isn't going to hit those. And if I'm cutting 2 of the Whirs, I can probably trim at least 1 Talisman. Maybe a Bauble. You know, it's funny, sometimes you live in a desert in August, and you're still cold because you blast AC all the time. I'm thinking about these extirpates, but considering how hard we struggled to pull cards out to board, I don't think I need those. This sand does not have nearly enough going on for it. We're shipping it. This is better. I'm thinking in this hand, Thoughtseize is, or maybe the Needle goes. It's either the Needle or the Thoughtseize here. Collective Brutality is a removal spell, or it's a removal spell and a discard outlet. Well, actually, no. Okay, it's a removal spell. So it's either keep the removal spell. Well, the Needle might be good too, though. This is tough. We're only on game 2. I gotta hurry up. I think I'm bottoming the Needle. I think Needle's the least consistent out of all of these cards. Are they Thoughtseizing? Yeah. Okay. That's unfortunate. They might take Thoughtseize if they have something they want to slam on turn 2. Otherwise, I think they take the Lantern. The Brutality is annoying for them, but I don't think that it's worth them wasting a Thoughtseize. They disagree. I think I slam River of Tears first because they don't know what I just drew. What turn 2 plays can they slam that they don't seem scared of my Thoughtseize and Retaliation, so I don't think I Thoughtseize right now. I think I wait a turn. Oh, they hit another Thoughtseize. Oof. Okay. I don't think I shuffle away a Thoughtseize. Ah, opponent slams Harsh Mentor. I see. That makes more sense. That's why they took the Brutality away. Okay, well, I think I'm just going to have to fight through it. I don't care about their Thoughtseize. Gravecrawler is kind of mediocre. It's just a 2-1. Fable, I think, is the one that I'm most scared of. Now, I'm racing for an Ensnaring Bridge. I need to consider... My opponent already has 1 energy. They have 1 creature here. They have to spend an energy to cast the Guide of Souls? I think that's okay. Damn, I could have gotten rid of it and put a land there. That sucks. Actually, you know what? I think I'm doing okay right now because I can make an Urza Saga token next turn. And that stonewalls them pretty hard. They're going pretty slow right now. So maybe I just draw the Spire. Yeah, I'm just going to draw the Spire. Just sit behind the Urza Saga wall. Okay, I'll play Dark Slick. Pass the turn. Another land on top is good. Yeah, so even though I'm going to take damage for this, making blockers is important right now. So I'm gonna do it twice. Actually, the cookbook is net negative on life into a Harsh Mentor. That sucks. So I think I'm looking for a Candy Trail, and I'm just digging for a board wipe. Collective Brutality is really nice. Whir of Invention will find a bridge. So I think I like both of these. I'll do Pithing Needle. I think I have to name Warden Soul Trader here. That Arid Basic keeps showing up on top of the library. That's very funny. Well, they probably don't think it's funny. I think it's funny. They don't have Warren Soul Trader in their hand, actually. I know they don't have that. So what ability do they have that I care about most directly? I guess the Bombardment. No, because Soul Trader goes infinite. Soul Trader goes infinite with the Guide of Souls and the Gravecrawler that they have on the table already. Okay, I can swing in with one of these. It is a little unfortunate that they got to draw their Fable. But that only gives them 1 more card. Or that we can't see. Lets them draw 2 cards, but I think I'm fine with that. Okay, they still can't swing into me. I think I do play this 4th land. And we'll just blow up the Mentor. They have Phyrexian Tower as a 1 per turn sack outlet, which isn't good. So this Marionette Apprentice isn't very nice. So maybe I do have to Pixis now. So I'll draw the Whir of Invention. I'll Pixis right now. I'll swing in for 5. I probably should have swung in for both, or with both. Maybe I should not have swung in with anything. Well, no, whatever they spin into this turn, having 2 blockers versus 1 isn't going to make a difference, I don't think. Fable ticks up. They probably discard the Thoughtseize. They might want to keep the Amped Raptor. Oh! Oh, they're using Thoughtseize to get rid of my Whir of Invention. That's what they're doing. Actually, that checks out. That makes a lot more sense. They spin into another Raptor. They don't cast anything off this Raptor because they didn't cast it from their hand. Okay, they Thoughtseize. All that makes sense. They don't have any more cards in hand, so I think on upkeep I'm going to mill with the Pixis. Okay, Gravecrawler is going to become a 4/3. Sure. Pixis. That's a land. They still have 3 energy, so they can make something else fly next turn. So I have 1 more spin. Yeah, I have 1 more spin with this. Yeah, maybe I should have swung in with both these tokens last. No, wait, no. Okay, I have to pass. Oh, wait. I don't want to auto. Nope. Unpass. Damn it. I should have played the land. Sorry, I forgot that I still had a land in hand. That's my bad. So basically, my opponent is going to swing at me. With a lot. Oh, they're just going to throw all of the counters on their single Gravecrawler. Sure, that's fine too. I'm going to go to 5. Upkeep, I Pixis again. Never punished. There's the bridge. And a Pyroclasm. Cool. All right. Phew. That got dicey for a moment. I'll draw the Pyroclasm. I'll play the Pyroclasm. Just mop up the board. Okay, they're just copying a Raptor for energy. May as well take some value outside the, or when you're on the way out the door. I think I let them have Amped Raptor. It's what they spin into that's the scary part. I think I have to let them have Fable too. I think I just have to give them blind draws. Okay, I don't want the land. Okay, Pithing Needle is going to name... What's the next scary thing here? I think it's a Johnny Nicodle Avenger. I don't want this Inquisition on top of my deck. So again, I'm going to get rid of that once I have the chance. Pixis. Oh, Trophy's nice. I will Pixis. I don't think I need another Ensnaring Bridge. Cool. All right. I'm going to blow up this Fable on 1. Or actually, hold on. I'm going to do that on the draw step. It is this one I want to target. No card draw for you. Copy stuff off the Raptor all you like. But no card draw. I suppose Cage will be nice. Well, I guess we already shut off their graveyard synergy, so it doesn't really matter. But this Lantern will be nice. It'll give me an extra spin. I think I've established that Amped Raptor is okay. The Nightmare is fine because I have Cage. Yep, you're cool. They tried to reanimate. Didn't work. Okay, I got 5 minutes to close this game out. They have 26 cards in library. I think I'm okay. Cool. All right. The classic 2-0 where I have 2 minutes left after winning and my opponent has like 3. So they seemed like an unhappy camper, but we get the 2-0 at least. On to match 2. Okay, it's been a day. I'm going to continue playing. I'm going into this one cold, so if I make mistakes, you've been warned. Call me out. Alright, we're on the play. And I'm seeing discard and a Lantern lock and a Stirrings to find a bridge. We even have a way to cast it all. I'm liking it. So I think I'm going turn 1 Dark Slick Lantern. Ooh, Shouldered on top's not good. That's fine, I have a trophy for that. Opponent surveils. I've only seen black cards so far, and I'm seeing a Boggart Trawler, so they're either a like Murktide Shell or they're Necro. I think I'm gonna Inquisition before I do anything else because I need to see what they're on. Both matchups are positive, but okay, this is looking like some mono black variant. Okay, I will take... I think I take the Bowmasters. Although if I take their Boggart Trawler, that's a land that they don't have access to, but they will have 2 mana anyways. And they have another one on top. Yeah, I'll just take a Bowmasters. I'll run out a Pixis. If I draw this cookbook, I don't even really need to worry about Shieldred. So I could just hold this trophy for a Necro later. Oh, they might grief me. I didn't think about that. They will not. Works for me. I think I'm going to Stirrings to secure a land drop. They're going slow. I can afford to take a turn off to do this, I think. Oh, there's a bridge. If I grab bridge, they might just use or fire off grief and take it anyways. They'll get rid of the push. It doesn't really affect their clock. But if I grab something like Urza's Saga, that might be better. Run out the Needle. They're probably on the One Ring, even if they're on a scam plan, I would imagine. So I'll just fire that off right now. Yeah, they're just gonna Bowmasters. Makes sense to me. They're drawing more lands. Never mind, they're fetching. Okay, I think I'm gonna Pixis on end step, because I don't really care about this Inquisition anymore. Soul Spike. Okay, so we're definitely playing against Necro. I think I'm on a 4-turn clock right now. I think I mill the Soul Spike on upkeep. We will continue to hit land drops. Urza Saga's gonna... I can't chump block this turn because I still have a Fatal Push in hand. Yeah, and they know that. That's okay. Still gonna do this. Make them play their push. Yep. That's fine. I'll take 5. Oh, they don't get to play Grief or Shoulder this turn, right? Do they have another land? Okay, they're just running on another Trawler. Works for me. So what I could do this turn, I could draw the Glimmer Void here. I could discard this trophy with the book. I make a Saga token, and then I have mana to crack the food the same turn. That should slow them down enough. I don't think I need the trophy. And I don't need to spin them into a Necro for free. I think I need a second Millrock. Shouldred's cool with me. Oh, they're just going in. Sure. Instep, I crack the food. I'm gonna Pixis as well. I'm trying to hit a bridge. I don't think I fight every turn to look for a bridge. Because I can still net positive life with the cookbook here. Actually, I might have miscalculated here. So I can crack this, I go to 10 life. My opponent swings back for 5 next turn if I blocked a Shouldred. They have another... No, wait, no, I got rid of the other Shouldred. They do have a Grief that could start swinging in soon, too. I think I'm okay. I'm already pretty behind. I'll let them do their own thing. While I'm thinking. Yeah, Grief's cool. They go to combat, sure. Alright, cool. I'm gonna Pixis again. I'm still looking for a bridge. Just keep cracking these. Okay, yeah, I really need a bridge now. I guess their combat math gets complicated because they need to swing with Shoulder to force my life total low for the most part, but then they don't drain me every turn because they lose their Shouldred. Whoops, I'll lead on Pixis. Okay, now I think I'm forced to do this on upkeep. Candy Trail. Every time I draw a card, I'm gonna lose 3 life. Candy Trail digs me 2 cards deeper. But then I don't get a bridge this turn. Yeah, I have to mill it. So next turn they can swing in for 8. I can crack a food, go to 9. I need to shuffle. They're drawing Soul Spike next turn. That means I'm basically at 2. I need to respond to the Shouldred draw trigger by discarding a food and gaining 3 life on my next draw step. So I need to hit a bridge right now. That's my only out. Oh, wait, I lose a life this turn as well. I forgot about that part. Wait, how many cards do they have in hand? They have 2 cards in hand? I don't remember what they are. They might... If they're both not lands, then I just lose. Let's see. I can't remember. Yeah, okay. This matchup is generally pretty favored for us, though. I think I just got a little bit greedy with the bridge. Or we have 4 Whir of Invention, too, so we should have been able to find a bridge pretty reasonably. Maybe I got a little too cozy too fast. I think maybe the brutalities are okay, but I don't know. It does pick off a lot of their creatures, so it'll slow them down quite a bit. It's true of Pyroclasm as well, but I guess brutality... No, I think brutality is better. I don't really care about Extirpate. They don't have things that I need to pluck out of their deck, really. I think One Needle is coming out. They run the One Ring. And I think that's the only activated ability that I care about. I can't think of any others off the top of my head. Actually, I might take out 2 Needles that's the case. Cage can come out. This matchup isn't particularly fast. You know what, maybe... I think... Maybe we keep 2 needles and we just cut the baubles. We'll try it like this. This seems nice and neat. So my opponent almost certainly has turn 1 discard. What do they take from this hand? I would go turn 1 Candy Trail. This doesn't stop them if they have a Necro hand. I think that's the most concerning part, is that I have no points of interaction. But I can dig for those with Candy Trail. And then I just kind of sit behind bridge the whole game. And I have 2 redundant ways of getting the bridge. And then I have these also as ways to get the Lantern Lock. Although, Whir of Invention can't really be a redundant bridge unless I hit more artifacts. I think this is resistant enough to discard where I have to keep it, and maybe they just try and keep an over-interactive hand. This could be incorrect. So I'll lead on Dark Slick, go Candy Trail. I do not need the Whir. We'll keep Thoughtseize. They probably take the bridge, because I can't Whir for a bridge easily. I guess they don't really know what my top card is, so maybe they'll think that I can just spin into that and hate pieces as well with the Whir. Maybe they're scared of it, but I think they should take the bridge. Yeah, okay. They're not doing anything next turn, I don't think, that I care about, so I probably hold on to the Thoughtseize for a turn. I think I'm just going to crack the Candy Trail. I might... Actually, I'm going to do this before they can Bowmasters. Saga's interesting. Okay, opponent griefs. So they're just going to scam this. So they could take both of my Whirs. Oh, they take Thoughtseize. Okay. Oh, maybe they kept a Necro hand. I see. So they're just trying to protect Necro. I can't Whir this turn no matter what. Like, I'm not going to Whir for a Bauble. I don't even have them in my deck anymore. So I shouldn't auto-pass. I should at least pretend like I can do something. Yep, this is the risk of me keeping the hand that I did, is that they could just slam Necro. That was expected. They draw 5 cards. That is a responsible number of cards. I guess I have the Urza Saga threat, so they do need to hold up a little bit on interaction. Interesting. The fact that they haven't done anything makes me think that they didn't draw anything useful. So maybe they're just choosing what 3 cards to discard. Yeah, they passed priority. Yeah, they just had to discard. Oof. I'm going to run out the cookbook. Awesome, so they're going to have to pay more life to draw more cards. Break the ice, I see. Well, I'll run out of token. That does slow me down quite a bit. Oh, Psych. Oh, I didn't notice the Watery Grave there. Okay. That's interesting. I think that end step I'm going to discard my Dark Slick Shores. That seems like the right play. They're holding on their second main. Oh, they're probably thinking of how much life they pay on this. They have a chump blocker. They draw 3 cards. Okay, I'll discard my land. If I had a trophy, I could just win here, straight up. So... Oh, that's not true. Or yeah, if I had a trophy, I could just blow up the frog. So I could Whir for a Pithing Needle right now. That would be an interesting line. That seems funny. I think I kind of want to do it. It seems slightly risky, but I'm going to do it. They let it happen, so I'm going to Needle Frog. That way I can't grow. So they have to block with it now. Okay. So they're at 3 life. They're basically locked out with their own Necro. Unless they have, like, a ring. They have a Shieldred. Okay. That does buy them some time. And puts them up to 5. Push. Oh, that's not good, actually. Alright, so their Necro's back online. Alright, what am I doing in my turn? Maybe this needle was a bit greedy. I got excited with the token. But so I can Whir for a bridge. The Lantern Lock isn't going to be very valuable anymore because they're just going to draw like 4 or 5 cards a turn. So I think slamming bridge is a good start. They're not going to have a lot to interact with that. Next turn, I can try and set up the lock. Or maybe I just, like, clamp down on making food every turn with the cookbook. So, like, I can play Lantern and then discard. Or, never mind. I probably lose my Lantern to this grief. They probably run Flute. Right? Okay, they draw 3 cards this time. Makes sense. Next turn, they draw 6. I think it's better for me to just Inquisition them. And then I can just discard this card. Yeah, I'll take the Break the Ice. No Lantern Lock, we're just gonna keep top decking until I can blow up the Necro. And hope they can't do anything about it. We're above 20 life, so their 4 Soul Spikes aren't gonna do anything. The fact that they're running blue means that they might have, like, an Into the Flood Maw, or some kind of bounce spell for the bridge. Like, or Sink into Stupor. Oh, they probably don't run Sink into Stupor. Alright, their engine's set up. Yeah, I'm just discarding this. Passing through. And passing through their turn as well. They draw lots more cards. I think I just... Oh, I can crack a food. So here, I can do some scrying. There's a Terrace Under. I don't need the bridge. I need the Terrace Under. Then I can gain life with this food. Like, at this point, I don't really know if it matters if I whack Necro, but I'm still gonna do it. Yeah, they're not even drawing cards anymore. Cast on the Necro. They probably have another one. Oh, they don't. Okay. Blue, blue, blue. I'm gonna grab... Is it wrong to grab the Lantern? I think I just double up on bridge. I don't think it matters anymore. I just need to preserve my clock. That seems to be the same boat that they're in. I'm gonna run out the Codex Shredder so that I can try and mill them on end step. No ring for you. Well, I just naturally drew into the Lantern Lock. I guess I'll take it. But I can even blow up the Shouldered, which is gonna make my life a lot easier. Oh, they probably have another one in their hand, honestly. We'll make him have it, though. Probably shouldn't have let them have that Soul Spike, but... Yeah, there's their Shouldered. Okay. So Urborg is annoying me. Auto pass. Alright. Okay. So, opponent made me mill them out. My actions are being kind of slow right now. I've been testing out some 1440p recording. That might be causing some input lag over here, or at least it's, you know, making the mouse a little weird, so I'm not used to it in the same way. So I'm losing a lot of time. That's okay, though. I don't think we have to make any boarding changes. I'm just taking some time to unwind after that match. Get ready for the next one. I don't think I keep this hand. Mull that. Mull that as well. I go to 5. Oh no. That's a bad hand. So I can turn 1 Shredder in an emergency. I think I bought him the cookbook. I think I need to tutor that out later. And one of the Stirrings. I need to guarantee that I hit an artifact on turn 1. They could just take away my Codex Shredder and my mana base is awful. This is the risk of Glimmer Void. Sometimes you get awkward hand keeps. That was 3 one-landers in a row, though. That's not supposed to be how this list goes. Opponent's in the tank on this one. They might be leaning on Stirrings to tax my mana, but Trophy's pretty tempting as well, because that answers their Necro. I'm going to be trying to shortcut as much as possible. I only have 8 minutes left, and they've proven that they will have me mill them slowly over time. Uh-oh. Alright, so they did take the Stirrings. They don't care about their graveyard, so I will have them mill every time. Oh, the Frog's good. Saga's nice. I can still cast Trophy because they have Urborg. I'm going to pass and hold up Trophy. I will let them have 1 card for free. But if they don't play Necro this turn, then... Are they going to pump up the Frog? Maybe if they start pumping up the Frog, I'll blow it up. If I blow up the Frog, then they could just slam Shouldered this turn. I don't know how I like that. Oh, I was kind of hoping that this didn't have the Saga typing on it, and so it'd be Urza's Swamp. That makes sense, though. It is a saga. That's an enchantment type. They are really thinking about this decision here. Okay. Sure. I'll take one. Okay. In that case, I'm just going to blow up the frog. I should have made the mill first. Oh, no, they run a bunch of basic swamps. I'm not going to hit their one basic in the deck. Alright, well, if they had a Necro in hand, then they get it. They were going to have it anyway. Yeah. Mill you. Send a message. Necro Dominance. Another one. How many cards will they draw today? They draw 9 cards. So, on the plus side, my plan is very linear right now. I don't have a lot of decisions to make. They probably have some number of Soul Spikes and Marches. Oh, they're just going to rattle them off now. Never mind. Oh, right, they want to do that. They don't want to hold those in their hand. So, the Saga token is not long for this world, I don't think. But I think I'm still on the token plan, though. I want them to spend cards in their hand for the token. Okay. Frog is annoying. They could draw a ton of cards and put them all into the frog, which is what they will do. Alright, I just needed a land. That's a land. As long as they don't Thought Seize me next turn. Or this turn. Douthy's cool with me. Childred is less cool with me, but I don't have a choice. Flying Frog, cool. So I'm slamming Bridge and hoping that I either find something to blow up Childred fast, which probably won't matter because they will start necroing very aggressively. Or a cookbook would be the best solution. They're drawing enough cards, though, where they could just hit a couple Soul Spikes and I'll be dead. We already saw one Soul Spike. Oh, there's one. I'll draw a card first. Blue, blue, blue. 1, 2, 3. That's right, I have to do this now. I do not have a choice. I'll grab the bridge. They get free reign this turn. That's a few cards. Do I die? I do die. Alright, unfortunate. I mulliganed very aggressively in game 3, and the hand keeps were awkward. I think the deck is a little greedy on my part, so I'm expecting that sometimes the hand keeps aren't going to work out and things are just going to fall apart like that. I'll have to go back in game 1 and see if I feel like there were any mistakes there. Like, maybe I should have held on to an ensnaring bridge instead of grabbing a land and just assuming I'd hit a bridge later. That could have been a mistake. But in a Whir list, I should expect to get more hits on ensnaring bridge from top decks. Yeah, I'll have to go visit the replay again, but I think that was correct. I think my gameplay was correct. I think I just got a little bit unlucky. Beep beep. It's review time. I did say I wanted to look at this game one, and going through the replay again, I should have made some different plays. I think I made some mistakes here. The one that I want to highlight the most is this is my opponent's turn 4. So I'm about to untap into my turn 5. They just fatal pushed my token and swung in for 5. They have a Shouldered and a Grief in their hand, and they're about to draw another Grief. For some reason in this turn, I discard my Assassin's Trophy to make a food token. I don't think that was correct. That's nonsense. So what I should do in this case is, first off, not discard the trophy on my end step here. I'm going to untap. I'm going to draw my 5th land. I know that because the Glimmer Void's right here. I will make a Saga token. I don't think it really matters what I grab off the Saga here, or at least that's not the important part. But the important part is that I'm going to still have 2 mana up, and I'm going to keep my Assassin's Trophy online. And when my opponent tries to cast Grief next turn, then in response to the Grief effect, I can trophy their Grief. And then that takes a 3/2 Menacer off the board, and my 1 Saga token blocker is much more impactful in the current board state. That should have bought me an extra couple of turns, which means that in the long game, I would have been able to get, like, if I draw or put down a second Mill Rock here, that's like an extra 4 to 6 looks at a card. And Ensnaring Bridge effect. That's pretty powerful. So I think I did punt game 1 a little bit. Match 3. Alright, I have water. This will make match 3 much better. Alright. Match 3, we're on the play. And the only downside of this hand is that it's a one-lander. But I do have a bobble as a redraw here. I could bobble Shredder. This is a keep. I could bobble Shredder or I could turn 1 Lantern. I'm not 100% sure. I think I'm leading on, because I'm on the play, I'm leading on turn 1 bobble Shredder. Temple Garden tapped is interesting. That gives me Omnath vibes, and I don't like that. I think I have to play the Lantern so that I get some more informed draws. Oh, they're on a, what's it called? It's the Primal Prayers. Okay, opponent rumbles. Lots of Primal Prayers on top. I'm still going to mill myself, because I need this land, and then I can Shredder again. There we go. Whoops. Let's Inquisition. I need to slow them down. Ranger Captain locks me out of casting spells. I don't care about that. You can also tutor another Rampager. The Dour Port Mage is a repeatable draw source at instant speed. That can also be a problem. Renegade Rallier is interesting. That'll reanimate the Guide of Souls in their graveyard. So I can... Oh, they also have a Primal Prayers in hand already. So they don't have a way to generate mana right now. Or to generate energy. Except through the green belt. Dour Port Mage and Rampager together are a draw card engine. I think what I'm going to do is take the Port Mage. These 3 cards in hand might start an engine of some kind. But I think Bridge answers that engine next turn. The Port Mage starts drawing a bunch of cards. That's where things get scary. I'm wondering about the second Primal Prayers as well. I think I make them mill that, because I might be able to trophy later on this current Primal Prayers. They can have the land. Oh, you know what? They didn't have an untapped mana source. I just gave them an untapped mana source. I could have bought myself a turn. Oops. I didn't think about that. Oh, there's Primal Prayers. What was it? This? Yeah, it's these 4. Alright, there's Renegade Rallier. That probably gets back the Guide of Souls. It could get back the Shrieking Drake as well. Oh, they're just gonna... Okay, I see. Dour Port Mage is on the table. Can you flash stuff in with this? Yeah, you can. Oh, Rampager's an infinite draw by itself. Okay, that's not good. I'm just gonna set a stop on their start combat. If I see anything on top of their library, I'm gonna immediately release the stop. Oh, they played out Guide of Souls first. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I don't think I can stop them. They're... Oh, you know what? They're a Thoracle deck. So I'm just going to have to make sure that the Thoracle never hits the table. I think I still need to run this out right now. So I'm going to need to set some strategic stops here. Or some strategic auto yields. That's fine. Guide of Souls, that one I need to auto pass through. The Greenbelt Rampager returning, though, I can't auto pass that one. Same with the draw card effect. There's another Dour Port Mage, got it. Ranger Captain probably looks for that Shrieking Drake thingy. Are they just going to stack all their draw triggers at once? I don't know if that's correct. We'll do it. Beep beep. 60-second rundown of why my opponent is holding priority. Because this Primal Prayers deck seems kind of cool, and I just want to explain it because I think it's awesome. Rampager is a 1-drop that makes an energy when it enters the battlefield, and then it bounces back to your hand. Specifically, if you have 0 or 1 energy, you can bounce this, and then, with Primal Prayers, flash it back out, paying that energy that you just gained from the Rampager, and then just repeat this infinitely, or an arbitrary number of times. With Guide of Souls, however, this ruins your plans if you don't hold priority on anything because you get an extra energy. Rampager forces you to pay 2 energy if you have it. It's not a May trigger, which means that if you don't hold priority, then eventually once you have 2 energy, then the Rampager is going to be stuck on the table, and then you don't get your Dowerport Mage triggers anymore. That's bad. So what do? You hold priority on this Guide of Souls trigger, make sure that this Rampager resolves first, and then once this is still on the stack, you Primal Prayers again, and then flash in the Rampager, and then just repeat that over and over again. That's all. No weird interaction reasons why they're doing that. That's just how their combo works, and that's what they need to do if they have Guide of Souls on the table. Back to the main video. At this point, I would concede, or at least just auto-pass through the combo, but I genuinely think that they need to prove to me that I can't just mill over their Thoracle. Like, I need to see endurances. Which, I mean, if Nadu runs endurance, then these guys probably do too, but I haven't seen a Primal Prayers list before, so I feel bad for wasting the Steed's time, but... So the reason that I'm not auto-passing through the Greenbelt Rampager bounce trigger is since they can cast it with Flash, if I automatically pass through that, then they can draw, or do more draw triggers in response. I think I'm just going to have to trust that Rumble doesn't hit a Thoracle. Turn a card, that's fine. There's the Thoracle. Okay, they passed through that. There's Mockingbird. Okay. Alright, they got 3 cards in library. Show me the endurance. Yeah, I can't cast non-creature spells. Oh, are they just gonna loop the... I see. Oh, Renegade Rallier. Oh, duh. That makes sense. Okay. How big is that Froggy? It's a 1/3. Okay, we found a shortcoming of Pyroclasm. Okay, Extirpate is coming in. Damping Spheres seem like a good thing, because they're casting that off, or their creatures off of the thingy, the Primal Prayers, right? There's so many triggers. There it is. You may cast, yeah, that's a cast trigger. Terra Sunder would be good as well to target the Primal Prayers. Baubles come out. They do have some activated abilities that matter. Cookbook comes out. Grafdigger's Cage comes out. Although it does shut off, like, Renegade Rallier. I didn't see any Court of Callings, though. They have some graveyard shenanigans, but I don't know if Cages... Yeah, I guess I'll leave it in. I don't know. The Stirrings can hit the Damping Sphere in the board here, so I think I leave that in. They are an Ocelot Pride deck. Maybe I need to board in these as well. If that's the case, maybe Terra Sunder comes out. Yeah, I can trim the Stirrings. I'll take out 1 Needle. So the Port Mage has an ability that I want to Needle, and... Oh, is that it? That might just be the Port Mage. Yeah. We'll try it like this. Double discard Needle Talisman. No bridge, no library manipulation. I am banking on double Thoughtseize carrying me to victory. In game 1, this might be an okay hand. In game 2, I think I need more than this. Okay. This is... I think this is turn 1 Shredder, turn 2... Turn 1 Spire Shredder, turn 2 Urza Saga. No, turn 1 Darkslick Shores. This is interesting. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what I need to keep up. They can Primal Prayers on turn 3. So that means I need a Trophy up or a Pyroclasm up to nuke the board by turn 3. Yeah, okay. Oh, I need to bottom something. I want to say that Pyroclasm is the worst card in the hand. But if they just go off with Ocelot Pride, I'm going to be really regretful. Maybe I just take the Trophy. I have a Thoughtseize for their Primal Prayers. So I think this turn what I'm doing is running out of Shredder on turn 1. Did I board in my Extirpates? I did. So because I boarded in the Extirpates, I'm going to blind shred them. I really hope they needed that land, because otherwise I just gave them free cards. Ooh, okay. What does Shrieking Drake do again? Return a creature you control. I think I'm milling myself next turn. I think I just take the Primal Prayers. I think I can survive without Bridge for now. The Primal Prayers just wins the game for them. Most of the time. I will let them draw the Ranger Captain, even though I'm not too happy about that. Oh, that's a Needle target, by the way. Okay, they go Flooded Strand. Ocelot Pride is interesting. Oh! They're going to take my Lantern away. How rude. I don't think I give them Ocelot Pride for free. Upkeep, I'll mill my own land. Oh, well, they got another one. Shrieking Drake. Are they going to pump up? That's the question. Because if they do, then they lose Static Prison next turn. Yeah, they don't. Okay. Makes sense to me. On upkeep, I mill myself. So they had an Ocelot Pride on top. I think I just make tokens, try and force them to swarm the board. Yeah, I think I like that option. Although that does encourage them to put counters on the Guide of Souls. So that might put the Guide of Souls out of Pyroclasm range. That could be dangerous in its own right. Ocelot Pride's out. Shrieking Drake is out. Okay, so they can pump up the Guide of Souls this turn. If they want to. They're debating it. They might hold on to the energy. They don't. Okay. That's bad for me. Good for them. Not good for me. Just gonna do this anyway. I don't have to Pyroclasm this turn. I can do it next turn. Although, that means that they probably pump up something else with the Guide of Souls. Yeah, actually, I have to Pyroclasm this turn. This gets interesting. What do I take away from them? I could Needle them. They're going to see the bridge coming, too. So, Needle on the Ranger Captain. Is it called the Ranger Captain? Yeah, Ranger Captain right there. That only buys them one turn, though. I'm going to have an extra Mill Rock out soon. Yeah, I don't think I play to that. I think I grabbed the Lantern. I don't want Thoughtseize, so I'm going to start with the Pixis. Oh, there's a bridge. Cool. I'm going to attack them and see what they do. And I will just Pyroclasm. I do only have 2 mana, which is a bit of a problem. They might just give me my Lantern back. I don't see the point in them giving me... Yeah. they don't need to tax their mana anymore. Or tax their energy anymore. Oh, they could just get it. I let them have a Renegade Rallier? Oh, oops. I wasn't paying attention. This is dangerous now. My opponent can Ranger Captain, sacrifice it. Oh, they got a land back. Okay. Okay, so they could Ranger Captain, sacrifice Ranger Captain. Well, I could be running Haywire Might too, which blows up my bridge. It's unraveling. Everything's unraveling. Sorry, I'm speaking in fragments. My brain is hurting. They bounce the Rallier back to their hand. Okay. They're going to stick some counters on their Guide of Souls, I'm pretty sure. Makes sense to me. Okay. So I need this bridge, and then I need a land afterwards. I think I just have to trust that they have no way of getting out of this. Alright, there's the land. That's good. I think I just swing at them. I don't think it matters. Oh, I didn't want to let them draw that. Okay. Well, I let them draw that. Oh, you know what? They're just going to play Ranger Captain, sack Ranger Captain, and I just lose. I'll still make him do it, but, like, yeah, that's the line. I can't math. I don't know where my brain is right now, but it's not in the game. It's cool to see Primal Prayers working, though. It gives me an excuse to run Vexing Bauble again, if it becomes more popular. And I've been wanting to do that for Necro as well. So we played 2 matches so far where Vexing Bauble would be good again. So if this is where the meta's going, that's a good sign for Vexing Bauble. It's a good sign for Vexing Bauble. They have a green belt. Okie doke. Alright. Sack the Ranger. Okay. GG's. I believe that's a streamer, too. Let me take a look. He's got a Daybreak account. Dak Faden 07. Ah, there he is. Found him. Cool. Alright, well. That was a proper league, so I might be featured on another channel. I'm gonna have to go and I'll have to poke in and say hi. Either way, on to match 4. Alrighty, match 4. We're down 1 and 2 right now, but I'm in surprisingly decent spirits. Round the play. No hand attack is bad. Double Lantern means that that's kind of like a stopgap block for a turn. Whir can get me to bridge on turn 4 if I don't crack any of these. I can delude myself into keeping this game 1. They didn't reveal Gigantha. If they're on like Eldrazi, I have a trophy to hit one of their stacks pieces. I think this trophy can be like a replacement 2-mana Thoughtseize. And we have the mana to cast it in hand. So I'll roll with it. Opponent's on 6. And keep 6. Show me what you got. That's a Guide of Souls. That's a Godless Shrine. So I'm thinking Mardu. No, Witch Enchanter. Okay. They're on some other stuff. Oh, they have all their stops set. Wow. I kind of want to fire off Inquisition to see what the hell is going on. That Witch Enchanter isn't good. Okay, so it must be like a Soul Trader list. I see the Gravecrawler. Meat Hook Massacre is funny. I don't think I care about Meat Hook. I think I just stopped them from getting a sacrifice outlet. I probably take the Marionette Apprentice here. Or I could trophy the Marionette Apprentice. Forces them to use more mana. They probably have to play this Witch Enchanter as a land. Well, not if I trophy them. It's either the Apprentice or the Guide of Souls. Double Guide of Souls means they're going to get their creatures really big really fast. Whereas if I crack this Lantern and make them shuffle the Witch Enchanter, that means that I need 6 for Improvise. Or 3 for Improvise. I don't have any artifacts on the table to do that, really. I will have a Stirrings next turn to help with that. I think I'm going to take the Apprentice. I think I'm just going to trust that I can figure out the bridge thing. I'm going to make them shuffle. I'm going to do that when I have a Lantern already out, so I can see what they're drawing. Okay, they find an Unearth, so Apprentice is coming back. There's another Witch Enchanter. Okay. That's a fair amount of energy. Thankfully, it's only 5. I don't want that Whir. I'm going to lead on Stirrings. There's a bridge. I think I take the Bauble, actually. The Whir is going to look for a bridge. That needs to get out of my hand because I have a bunch of 1-drops. So I think I plan on trying to get the Whir online first. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the Bauble. Oh, I don't know if that works out, actually. How does this work out if I take the Ensnaring Bridge? This turn I'm going to play a land and trophy. I don't know what the top card of my library is going to be, and I don't really have a good way to manipulate it. But I slam bridge next turn. The turn after that, I Whir for 1. I think I have to take bridge. I think I've convinced myself I need to take bridge. Okay, there's a needle on top. I don't know if I like that. I think I need to blow up the Guide of Souls that's already big. Is that... No, I need to take out one of the 1-drops. Yeah, because then they can... If I take out this big guy, they can board clear with Meat Hook for 2. And then hit me for more later. I think I'd take the Apprentice. I'm trying to get them to shuffle away that Witch Enchanter as well. Okay. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. It's 11 damage coming at my face this turn. So I'll go to 5. I need to make myself shuffle and find a land. Yeah, they stacked up all the counters on 1 Guide of Souls. That's correct. So then that way they crack at me for 6 next turn. I don't think I'm in the business of policing their top card anymore. I think I just need to hit a land. That is the worst alternative to a land. Okay. They whack me for 6. Bowmasters gets them 4 energy. I actually just lose. Never mind. They're gonna attack. They're gonna get a trigger off of the Guide of Souls, and then they just hit me. Okay. Pyroclasm is very popular at this league. They're a Soul Trader deck, so I think Curse Totem comes in. Actually, I wanted to board this in for the Soul Trader matchup, but I've been looking at like their creatures, and the only activated ability really is just Warren Soul Trader itself. So I was thinking this would be a good hedge against the Soul Trader decks, but I don't know if that's really the case. It's kind of weird. Maybe I just lean on the needles. They're pretty aggressive anyways, so having a 2-drop when I don't need a 2-drop is not a good idea. It looks like they're on pure Orzhov, which is good. I think I take out the cookbook. They have a lot of ping triggers. Maybe I leave in the cookbook. I can take out stirrings. I can take out... They're aggressive, so maybe I cut like a Whir. I can do this. Is there anything else that I want to take out? 3 needles seems good, because that answers their Soul Trader. They're not running Goblin Bombardment. Maybe I'll go down to 2 needles. Like, the Soul Trader combo's, like, just something else that they do. It's not like their plan A. Oh, Soulless Jailer should come in. Oops. There we go. Maybe we try it like this. It does feel a little bit bad cutting the bridges, but we're cutting Whirs, because that means that we have less bridges, but I'm also running 3 copies of Pyroclasm to slow them down, so... 1 land Saga Hands. That's a no-go. This deck is determined today to give me some weird hands. I don't know what to do with this. This does not answer anything at all. It does have a Saga, so it will lock them really hard. I don't know if I have better 5s than this. Like I have better 5s, but I don't think my average 5 is going to be better than the amount of raw utility that this is going to provide me. They kept 7 pretty quickly. I think I just bottomed the Botanical Sanctum and just keep. I want to keep the River of Tears in case I like draw into a Thoughtseize or something. That way I don't have to ping myself for it. This hand is bonkers. So they run Unearth, so I'm not going to mill them blind. Which makes the Shredder hand even worse. I don't have a choice. They might even run Surgical, so I don't even think I could argue that I should be milling myself right now. Maybe I should have been crazy, run out Urza Saga on turn 1. Maybe that was the solution. Because then I can find Lantern on turn 3. And then I have, like, Master Library Manipulation for the rest of the game as fast as possible. And then I can also get the Cage out early. Yeah, I probably should have done Saga turn 1. It's not like I'm doing anything else with this hand. I might as well just do the one thing that I'll be good at faster. Opponent mills 2 Bowmasters. Plays a Gravecrawler. So they're only swinging in for 1 this turn. I like that. Whir of Invention. Oh my god. The what? Like we're on a Saga hand. I don't know what to do with this Whir. If I had another blue mana source, how many of those are there in the deck? There's like 7 more Spire Glimmers. There's another, so that's 7. There's another River of Tears, so 8. There's 5 fast lands I haven't seen yet, so it's 13. There's 1 island, 14. So there's like a slightly less than a quarter chance that I can Whir next turn if I play the Spire of Industry. I think I'll take those odds. Because, like, the alternative is that I just place the next Saga slightly slower. I'm going to leave up a blocker with Urza Saga this turn. It's not going to block their Guide of Souls, but it'll block, like, a Gravecrawler or something. Oh. Undead Augur is crazy. Yeah, there's no repercussions for them swinging anymore. Do I block anyway? Do I just need to protect my life total that badly? I'll make them pay for their Guide of Souls first. So I'm taking 5. Or 6. I can block 2 of that, but they draw a card. Yeah, I think I'm just going to cross my fingers that they don't have good cards to draw. Even though they get to recast that Gravecrawler, this is still saving me life. What else am I gonna do? Gravecrawler's back. And we draw a blue source. That's actually really good. So I will float a colorless in that case. I will find a Lantern. I will tap this River of Tears for blue before I play my land. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't... Wait, no, I do need that blocker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1 Shredder. Whir for 3. Grab the bridge. I guess I didn't really need the blocker. But whatever. I even have a Needle for Soul Trader next turn. Awesome. I need to think about giving them Phyrexian Tower. I don't think I do, because every turn that means that they can Gravecrawler loop and draw a card. That sucks. All right. All in. Okay, we're just hoping that they don't have a sack outlet anymore, because they have a Marionette Apprentice. They have a sack outlet. Good news. Guide of Souls goes infinite with this combo. Marionette Apprentice drains me. I'm just gonna... I'll make him establish the loop, just to make sure that I'm not missing something here, but they should just win. Actually, they didn't even need the Guide of Souls. They have more life than me, so they could have just drained me forever. Oh, well, they do lose a life per trigger. So they did need the Guide of Souls, because the Undead Augur would have drained them otherwise. Yeah, okay, they got it. Unfortunate. So we did see the downside of Pyroclasm there, where if they're on a Guide of Souls start, it doesn't wipe the board. So it's not a perfect solution. It's way better against the Ocelot Pride starts, but they do have the ability to go tall and just stack all of their counters on one creature. And we don't run a lot of targeted removal, so if we're relying on like a Pyroclasm and have no bridge in hand, then that's something that they can do to get through us. That's unfortunate. Alrighty, well, let's go to match 5. And I was 5 minutes behind in that game again. I really gotta speed up. Alrighty, match 5. We have Inquisition, Shredder, and we can't cast Stirrings yet, but I do have a Candy Trail to go digging. I think I keep this. What am I doing this turn? I think I'm leading on turn 1 Inquisition, because I'm on the draw. Okay, we're playing against Esper Gorios. And I have a Grafdigger's Cage in hand. That's convenient. However, if they're forcing an Inquisition on turn 1, that means that... Oh no, they could get super lucky and bin it Atraxa and Gorios this turn. I don't think that wins the game for them, though. They need to find an Ephemerate or something, so they still have a turn. Or I still have a turn to cast my Grafdiggers before it's a problem. What do they play this turn? Do they play a frog? They play a frog. So I think this turn what I'm doing is leading on Pithing Needle naming the frog. Oh, I could Thoughtseize instead. That's better. It's not better. Or they might have Pending. If they have Pending, then they can just answer the cage. So I think I'd lead on River of Tears, or Thoughtseize. I did kind of want to Needle the frog so they can't get bigger, but I need to do something about this. I think even though the Gorios, I can stop the reanimation, I think I take the Gorios anyway, because if they top deck a Pending, then my Grafdigger's Cage goes away. What's interesting is that they let me Thoughtseize first. I would imagine that they would just let me hand dump. It's kind of odd to me, but I could Pithing Needle right now. What would they need to top deck? So they can make this a 3/4 this turn. That's a 6-turn clock. Versus if it's 4 power, then it's a 5-turn clock. I think I'm going to Needle. The odds that slamming Cage right now backfires on me, I don't think is big enough. I just want to make sure the frog doesn't grow over time, because that will continue to be a scary clock. It also guarantees they don't keep cards in hands for like Force of Negation or something. I don't know. I don't know. Frog is small. We keep Froggy, well, reasonably small. As small as can be. Ooh, I can even make a token army over the next couple of turns. Yeah, you know what? I probably should have slammed Cage this turn. That's what I should have done. I should have just played out all my stuff, and then next turn I make the Saga token, because I'm not blocking this turn anyways. I'm playing pretty reckless here. Especially because they're drawing 2 cards a turn right now. Gives them a lot of time to do something scary. Okay, luckily we keep drawing lands. Do they run mainboard consigns? That would be interesting. They kept their card on top. I'm grabbing a Lantern. That's a Gorios. I'll play a land. I think I run out Cage, and then if they manage to counter it, then I can make them shuffle their library. This is still a little bit risky. There's a chance that they have a Pending in hand, so maybe I should have just shredded. shredded the Gorios away. Yeah, I should have shredded the Gorios away. Oh, well, they had another one. What a weird game this is. The Gorios matchup is always super weird. The way that they manipulate their cards into resources is super weird in its own right. So we're both doing really weird things with what is the value of a magic card in your hand? And they have like ephemerate loops with the Philagi Archaeologist, which is kind of cool. So there's a lot of funny things going on. I think what I'm doing here is I lead on stirrings. That's a bridge. I think I take the bridge. So basically, I'm going to dump my hand on the table this turn. I'll scry. I don't think I care about... Nah, I care about Thoughtseize. I don't care about the Glimmer Void, though. I need to see what's in their hand. So I'm going to go to combat. I'm going to swing out. They have to block with the Frog or Fatal Push, and I don't think they run pushes. Okay, cool. And then I had Bridge as a backup if the combat didn't work. Alright, Soulless Jailer's coming in, Soul Guide's coming in, Extirpates are coming in, Brutalities are coming in. That should be everything. I think one Needle comes out. The Needles are still good, but they're not... Well, they do run Teferis. Sometimes. So there's a 3-mana Teferi, Psychic Frog, Gristlebrand, and Priest of Felrights. That's 4 Needle targets. They could run something like Odawara as well. They might not, but they could. Does that mean I want 3 Needles, though? Does Needle win me the game most of the time? It did win me that game, I think. Or at least it did some work. Or, well, Cookbook comes out. I know that. So we'll take out the Cookbook. I think the Baubles come out. They are going to be boarding in Wrath of the Skies, actually. So I think Needle is less reliable than it normally would be. So I'll trim 1. Not sure what else to cut. Maybe we just take out the Stirrings. So the reason, by the way, that I'm not taking out the Candy Trails, it's a worse cantrip than Stirrings is, but it does mean that I'm removing more artifacts from the deck. And normally when I'm sideboarding, I'm taking out more artifacts than I'm bringing in. So I don't want to trim an extra 2 artifacts to make my Whir of Inventions worse. If I'm boarding out the Whirs, then it's a different story. I think I like this hand. I think it still does something in the face of a scam. So I'll keep it. It also has Talisman to ramp me up a little bit, so if I top deck a bridge, then I should be in better shape. Double discard means that the scam is very distracted. And if they don't take those Thoughtseizes away, that means that they can't really keep a Reanimator focused hand. Okay, turn 1 pass. Got it. I will turn 1 Inquisition. Consigned Gorios. They kept a 1-lander. Wow, okay. I'm Thoughtseizing next turn. Or I could Thoughtseize next turn. I could go like Talisman and Thoughtseize, but I could also just go Lantern, Thoughtseize, and Talisman the turn after that. I don't think they would counter my Lantern. Would they? They might. I'd much rather them counter a Lantern over a bridge. Also, if I take the Gorios and they want to grief me, then they have to bin their Atraxa right now. Yeah, I think taking the Gorios right now just means that their only plan towards winning right now gets worse. Like, the only thing that they can really do right now is, like, top deck an Ephemerate. Or a land. They kept a land. That makes sense. Yeah, so they could have either, like, Ephemerated, scammed me, or just keep top decking lands. Ooh, Saga's really nice. I think what I do here is Thoughtseize Consign, play Lantern. Okay, so the rest of my hand is going to disappear. But I will have a Lantern lock if they choose to Ephemerate Scam. That's super slow, and I don't care about the rest of my hand. Yeah, which they're doing. They have chosen their destiny. Trophy and Talisman is not really a good hit for them. They've been to Traxa, right? Yeah, they did. Alright, well, this is their whole game plan now. I don't think I care about Tainted... Or, no, I might care about Tainted Indulgence. No, I don't... Yeah, I think I care about Tainted Indulgence. So I think I run out Pixis. Next turn, I'll make a token, and then I can race them. And then I can also pull Grafdigger's Cage out with the Urza Saga, just to make sure that they don't run away with the game. The alternative is that I let them have a Tainted Indulgence, bank on them not drawing a Wrath of the Skies. Actually, they can't Wrath for very much at all. They are going to take this Pixis out of my hand, though. But I can tutor up a Pixis. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to race them. Okay, they do want to steal Pixis from me. Gotcha, gotcha. They will have to discard a card to this Indulgence as well. Oh, right, I need to tap 3 mana for that. Are they going to try and... I don't know what they're going to try and do here. They don't have anything that they can do for 0 mana that they can spin into in response. Yeah, I'll grab Pixis. I'll just exile that. Oh, they don't have any targets in their graveyard. Well, they could Tainted Indulgence into something. Yeah, that's a concern. I always have Panic Lantern Shuffle. I think Teferi's the only one I'm really scared of right now. That might be a Bold Needle, but... yeah. Alright, I will Pixis now, because if they want to draw that Goryo's really badly, then they have to cast their Tainted Indulgence right now, which means they're not doing it next turn. Cool. They drew a Grief and a land. Or sorry, Grief and Goryo's. And then they discard the Grief. Cool. I think that I'm okay with them taking the Pending. Because I'm still winning the top deck war. Or I'm still winning the damage race. Like, I'm going to swing in for 10 here. I'm even going to... oh, wait, no, I can take it away with Thoughtseize. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Take away your Pending. Swing in for 10. And then that Marsh Flat's a brick if they don't chump block. I think what they have to... I don't even know if they have any outs. If they do have an out, then yeah, they need to chump block, and this Marsh Flat can find a Surveil land, and then they can Goryo's. But that doesn't... I don't think that wins. Yeah, so they're going to hit a Surveil land. Yep, and then that's it. I think they're absorbing their fate. They haven't done anything. Okay, there we go. 50 play points. Yeah, let's go to the conclusion. Alright, it is deck conclusion time. What are my thoughts on the deck? We'll start with that. We made some changes to, or well, we have significantly changed the mana base from Blue-Black Whir. So we should start with that, I think. How did Glimmer Void feel? How does Fire of Industry feel? I think they were fine. I was expecting to be more worried about awkward turn 1 hands, but I think because we're such an artifact-centric list, that it didn't really come up too often where I had a Glimmer Void as my only colored mana source, and I wanted to play discard on turn 1, and that was the only way I could curve out appropriately. It didn't really happen. Instead, most of the games well, we had 1 or 2 games that felt a little awkward with mana, but most of it was because Urza Saga was in the way. And we had like a Whir of Invention in hand at the same time. And there was a little bit of a clash in mana that way. And we never really saw a Talisman in the league to try and smooth out that mana. So I don't think that's going to happen too often. That is an assumed risk when we played the deck. That was just going to happen. That's okay. But I think the mana was fine. River of Tears, Odawara, Island, all 4 of these. Like, the River of Tears did matter. We did play discard outlets on this early, and it does tap for Whir later in the game. So I think that was still fine. And I think the fast lands were good too. I think this is overall just a solid mana base all around. I think that Ancient Stirrings didn't come up a ton, but I do like the fact that it digs very deep into the deck for specific answers. So I think it's a nice top deck in the mid game. I don't think it really makes a huge difference in the early game, just because our mana base is pretty wonky, so casting Ancient Stirrings on turn 1 is a bit of a challenge, but it doesn't really feel like you have to plan around Stirrings super hard. Like, it's a 1 mana spell. You should be able to cast it on turn 2 and be happy. So, I thought it was fine. I didn't really find a whole lot of need for Assassin's Trophy in the deck. So maybe what I'll do in the future, if I continue to build on this list, is I might cut down to 1 trophy just so that I have an answer to everything, no matter what. And I might try and throw in a different spell that utilizes the Rainbow Mana base better. I'll get to that in a moment. The talismans we didn't really get to see. I still think I like 2, but we'll need to test that more. We'll see if they stay in the list or if they get crowded out. 3 bridge, 4 Whir felt okay. The Whir of Inventions, I will say that drawing multiple Whir of Inventions feels a little bit more awkward than drawing multiple ensnaring bridges, but I think that the awkwardness is about the same between these 7 cards. If you draw multiples between these, it's just going to feel awkward no matter what. I think that's another assumed risk in the deck, is that sometimes you might just have a couple extra too many cards in hand, and that's just how it's going to have to be. How did the sideboard feel? Extirpate we saw once, but we didn't really see the matchups it's meant for, so that's okay. I didn't really miss surgicals in the main board, so we didn't board in Extirpate a ton, but when we did, it was justified. Sultai Lantern, same deal. Collective Brutality still feels good. I think that maybe I'll want to throw 1 Brutality in the main board, just so that I have an extra discard outlet for these Whirs and Ensnaring Bridges. That seems like a good idea to me. What about Pyroclasm? This was the big spice card in the deck. That was one of the main reasons why I wanted to run 4 Glimmer Void, 4 Spires, was just I could run what I assumed to be the best board wipe in slot against the most problematic matchups for us. And in short, I think it was solid. We did see that it had problems though, like against what was it, the Soul Trader deck, the Black-White Soul Trader list, and the Primal Prayers list. Both of those decks were running Guide of Souls, and they had a way to get a ton of energy very quickly, and then all of a sudden Guide of Souls was no longer board wipeable. And if we were on the draw, then it was even worse because they were able to pump the Guide of Souls up right away, and there was no chance that we ever get to Pyroclasm it away. So I think Pyroclasm is better against the Ocelot Pride starts, because all that Ocelot Pride will do is just go wide. But against the Guide of Souls starts, especially if they have multiple Guide of Souls, Pyroclasm isn't going to do a whole lot. The advantage of it being 2 mana is still very real, though. So I think in the future, I might trim down to 2 Pyroclasms, and I might add a Bontu's Last Reckoning or a Path of Peril, something like that. I might even run, maybe I'll go like 3 Pyroclasm, 1 proper board wipe or something, just so that I have a little bit of a hedge against those larger creatures. Terra Sunder was fine. Curse Totem I was disappointed with. Curse Totem felt too narrow in the sideboard again. I had taken it out for a while and decided that I'm gonna throw it back into the sideboard because first off, there is still some Yawgmoth running around, and Curse Totem, you kind of need Curse Totem to shut off Yawgmoth. There's just so many moving pieces that if they keep a mediocre hand, then they will just run you over with creatures, or they'll combo out. And you have to dedicate so many resources to fighting both of those angles at once that it's tough to win. So I wanted 1 Curse Totem, especially because we can Whir of Invention it out. It felt like having 1 Curse Totem would be pretty consistent, even though it's just a singleton. But I also threw it in because there were Soul Trader decks running around. And as I got to the post board in the 2 Soul Trader matches that we played, it occurred to me, like, there's no activated abilities on any of these creatures. The only one that I actually care about is the Soul Trader itself. So it wasn't worth running the Curse Totem. It was just worth running a Pithing Needle instead, because at least that could hit the Galvanic Bombardments, that can hit the Chthonian Nightmares, that can hit Obnixilis, it can hit Reflection of Kiki Jiki, which Curse Totem only hits the Reflection. It doesn't hit any of the other things that I just named. So those are my deck thoughts. I think I might test out running like 2 Prismatic Ending, 1 Trophy, and see how that feels. It's not like we don't have the wacky ass mana to cover all of the mana costs for that anyways. I think in the future as well, I'm going to investigate if there's any cards that have white pips that I'm going to throw on the sideboard. If I'm already taking out something like Curse Totem, then I probably can find some room for, I don't know, I don't think like Gaddock Teague is a good thing in the meta right now, but like there's decks that, there's a lot of hate bears that you could run in white. That would be nice to investigate, I think. Well, I've said this in previous videos with the deck. I think it has good bones. I wasn't expecting to say that, but it seems more stable than I would have expected. I think there's more testing that needs to be made in order to make that statement more definitively, but I didn't miss the Fetch Shock mana base. It's still nice when you have a Lantern out to be able to get an extra shuffle, but I think the extra utility that you get from just being able to run best in slot sideboard cards, or, you know, just running weird stuff all over the color pie, it seems tempting right now. It's a design space that I want to explore. That concludes this video. If you want to see more content, I have a playlist of Lantern videos that should pop up on the screen. If you want to see any other content that's not related to this channel, I have in my profile, if you click on the profile picture, you'll see some recommended channels that also have Lantern content, either partially or completely. Some people do streams, some people do posted videos, some people do analysis. There's a little bit of everything for you. If you want to play this deck, it's in the Moxfield description link below. If you want to see some other lists as well that I've run in the past, that will also be in a second Moxfield link below. Take care, everybody.